So how do I use Zapier as the founder and CEO of a software development firm? Well, I use Zapier in a lot of different ways, all right? One of those ways that I actually use Zapier is, if you look here, this is Teamwork. This is the project management system that we use to manage our software projects, all right? So my little engineers that work for me, I have a little bit over 30 engineers that work for me. My little engineers that work for me, they essentially log into Teamwork every single day, and they find out what they need to do, all right? So I'm gonna go to Link Wizard, because Link Wizard is one of our softwares, all right? And I'm gonna come right here to these customer reported bugs right here. And I'm also gonna come down here to Link Wizard right here. Hey, come back here. Where did you go, Link Wizard? Somewhere. All right. Oh, hold on. There we go. That's not the right one. That's my Thingiverse. Just give me 1 second. I'm going to show you. I lost it. All right. So now I'm going to come in here to Link Wizard. All right. I'm going to stick Link Wizard right here. All right. Now, I'm going to come into Link Wizard right here. I'm going to check right here. I'm going to go to Help. I'm going to hit Submit a Bug. All right. And whenever I hit Submit a Bug, it's going to ask me just some basic questions here. Do I want to use this account? Yeah, sure. I'll use that account. It says work at tier5.us. Can you explain to me in one single message the issue that you're having? I'm just going to say testing Zapier connection. All right, now keep in mind, this is a chatbot. This is a Facebook chatbot that's embedded in our software application. All right. So can I give you the URL? Yeah, sure. I'm going to give you a URL right there. Bam, there's a URL. What else? Can you upload a screenshot? Yes, sure. Here's a screenshot right here. It's going to be this right here, this 46. There's my screenshot. All right. Just uploaded that screenshot. Should be all good. Now I'm having a little bit of delay on my chatbot. My chatbot is not actually liking that. But if you look right here, you see here was a new bug submitted from John Vaughn, work at tier5.us. If I go right here, you can see, look, here is that bug I just submitted, testing Zapier connection. And here's the URL that I'm having the issue on. And if you look right here, here's going to be that image that I just uploaded. All right. So one of the ways I use Zapier is to do customer service. All right. All our bug support, anyone, we have 7 different softwares out in the market, and anytime a user has a problem with the software and they want to submit a bug, well, they do that right through a chatbot, right inside the application, right through a Facebook chatbot. And essentially, we use Zapier to take that information out of the chatbot and stick it right in the project management system and assign it to a software engineer. Okay, that's one of the ways that I actually use Zapier. Another way that I use Zapier is sometimes unfortunately, sometimes I have users and they don't pay their bills. All right, so I have users that don't pay their bills, and if you look in here, all right, I'm going to show you right inside here. If you look, let's go to Home and let's look at my Zaps. And I'm going to come right down here to, all right, one way that I use Zapier is ClickFunnels, all right? I have a bunch of different funnels built on ClickFunnels, and maybe some of you guys on this training are actually going to need to know how to do this yourself. For example, let's say somebody goes to this website right here, www.useStickyReviews.com, and they come to Sticky Reviews, and they decide that they're going to purchase this software from me, all right? Whenever they decide that they're going to purchase this software, guess what? This Zap fires right here, and this Zap is essentially an automation that whenever a new purchase happens on ClickFunnels, I am going to essentially hit an API in our Sticky Review software, and I'm going to actually create a new user account through hitting that API, and then I'm going to send an email out to that person to let them know that I've just created their account, what their username and password is, all right? So that's another way that I use Zapier. I essentially tie in to our APIs, and whenever I get new purchases in ClickFunnels, then I essentially hit our APIs. That creates user accounts. A lot of you guys that are Inner Circle members, you guys are probably going to want to be able to do that, because you guys are going to want to be able to have your own landing pages, which I did give you share funnels for, and you're going to want to be able to actually set up user accounts whenever people come through and they purchase those softwares from you by hitting the APIs that you have available to you. All right, so that's another way that I use Zapier. Another way, you can see I have so many different ClickFunnels pages that are actually connected. All right, another way that I use Zapier is, for example, this right here. This is essentially, all right, so we use Stripe as a payment processor, and this is essentially a zap that happens whenever Stripe says, hey, there's a new failed payment. Like I said, sometimes some of my users, their payment doesn't work. So they're supposed to pay a monthly fee to use the software. That payment fails. Well, guess what? If you're not paying for the software, I don't want you to use it, all right? So whenever Stripe here's a new payment failed event. So that's what this is saying. It's saying, hey, whenever there's a new failed charge, whenever there's a new failed payment in Stripe, what do we want to do? Well, I only want to continue if a certain thing, this is a filter, and I'll be teaching you about filters. And then if that filter is true, I want to essentially hit a bunch of APIs on all our different softwares, and I want to suspend their access and not grant them access so they can't log into my software and use my software because they're no longer paying for it. Then I'm going to send them out an email, and that email is essentially just going to say, hey, I hope you're having a good day. Your payments are failing, so I suspended your accounts. Please go in and actually make your payment. All right, and then after that, looks like I add them to a list in ClickFunnels. So after that, I add them to a specific list in ClickFunnels called suspended accounts, so that since I use ClickFunnels to be my autoresponder and send out all my messages in bulk, now ClickFunnels can know, hey, this user has actually bought our stuff and their accounts are suspended. So I can go out and market to those people with no money and say, hey, you guys don't have enough money to pay for my software, so why don't you buy this other stuff for me? All right. So now you can see lots of different ways that I actually use Zapier. If I wanted to, I could use Zapier to read my incoming emails and look at content from my incoming emails and reply to my incoming emails. And I even have Zap set up where before, when I used to have clients that were paying us for software development, I would tell my clients whenever they had new tasks, they needed to send an email to my email address in a very specific format. They needed to give me the project name, and we had to find project names in the subject line. And then in the body, they needed to actually outline all the new tasks. And Zapier would listen to all my incoming emails, and whenever it would see that project name, it would go to Teamwork, it would find that project in Teamwork, and it would add those tasks automatically to Teamwork so that my developers would know essentially what to do. So now I've shown you lots of different ways that you can actually use Zapier, how I personally use it in my business to save me countless hours worth of time every single week. So the next thing we're going to do is we're just going to dive into Zaps. So we're going to dive right into Zaps. I'm going to show you, the basics of Zaps and kind of explain that to you a little bit. All right.